peace and blessings, health and wonders to the house of David be elect. We are Hebrew Israelites, man. Out here, once again, we out the outside of downfall.
I think I played 2 something to like 236.
And we're about to explain, what the Heavenly Father is about to do to you, in the form of a series of
Probably the service. He probably the service.
You can start off with Zechariah 5 and 1.
Because it's with Zechariah chapter 5, starting verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes, and looked, and behold, a flying roll. Verse 2, and he said unto me,
and what is that flying roll? Cargo ship, man. Those chariots. You know? See, we're about to witness vehicles that come from another world, man. All right, because both sides about to shake up our reality, man.
Verse 2, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length of therein is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Verse 3, he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the earth, for every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it.
Yeah, this is the curse, man. So the enemy to our enemies is our friend. Alright? So this is a curse to our enemies. This is the curse to the house of Edom, man. Alright? This is the curse, man. So we have that's another duty, for lack of better words, that get whole bunch of shine sending us, man. When we see those chariots, we know what it is. It's the gospel, man.
I can make a point in the States too. Everyone was square. So we came off as Edomites. It's the only nation, although other nations 2/3 will be judged. But the Esau or Edom is the only nation that will be cut off.
And don't let you get your pussy back.
Talking about the chariots. Let's go to Isaiah 19, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The birds of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud.
What's that swift cloud?
Chariots.
Oh, man. This is one thing that humbles your enemy. And it's uplifting for you. When you see your bully has a bully. You ever seen your question, brothers did if you ever had a bully, it's something that it changes your spirit when you see your bully get bullied. When you see your bully meet somebody, they go like, oh shit. How does song go? You're not the boss of me, man. And he says, and you're not so. Yeah, so now we're gonna see that Hamlet of the earth meet his match. You know?
It shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
The strength of Egypt. Alright? The morale. See, when you see chariots dismantle missiles, you see chariots toying with the military, and man, that weakens the heart of Egypt. That weakens the morale of the U.S. military, man. Because what's one thing is Esau glories in? It's military, man. The technology. But who's the real Lord of armies, man? Come on, man. All right, go ahead and push out loud.
If I'm getting added, I want to
That's my son's point.
ask you a point. Because this man, Esau Edom, his pump, his pride was that his technology was higher than everybody else's. And as you said, that humbles him, but then also they encourage us because Yahweh Shai's army outclasses him by 1,000 miles.
But they actually said that. They said the technology that the so-called UAPs have is 1,000 years ahead of ours. So that's a strong statement, man. 1,000 years ahead of Esau's military. Like you said, Esau's outclassed by 1,000 times. All right.
This is Luke chapter 21, verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your head, for your redemption draw nigh.
250 years ago, we looked up. But that was just for encouragement when we saw the chariots. But now when we see the chariots, we know that our salvation is not. So we ain't no sweet chariot, man. All All right, please, Biden, what do you want to say?
Nah, man, but I'm gonna get you something. You keep talking with this.
All right, yeah, but look, man, we knew that those were chariots. I mean, how about Shai 200 years ago, 150 years ago, swinging low sweet chariots, come and take me home. But now they're coming to take us home. Jeremiah 16:16 about this. All right? Because, like I said, we're in a beautiful time, man. And Saint's job is to wasn't tangled in the matrix till we'll forget what it's really all about, man. You got a piece of Bible.
Hey, so I'm gonna go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter for you. I'm gonna start at chapter 2, verse 33. His legs of iron, his feet part of iron, and part of clay. Verse 34.
Well, we're talking about the particular Roman Empire. The legs was the Roman Empire, the feet of iron and marble clay. The mixed clay was the modern Roman Empire. Was that NATO EU? All right, go ahead.
Verse 34. You saw till that a stone was cut out without hands.
And what was that stone that was cut out without hands?
How shine that fathership.
Yeah, how shine the fathership. All right, which parallels to what? 2nd Ezra 13 chapter.
Right. There's a point, Elder Knock from Connecticut, Bishop Knock sent me a screenshot about a lion. So, long story short, you had this lioness to get killed by a crocodile. Said the lion stayed around there and killed 30 crocodiles. And the dude that was documenting the whole encounter said each time that lion went in that water, as if he didn't give a fuck if he was coming back. So Yahushua can be likened to that lion. Yeah. And then that lioness that calmly waters the nation of Israel. You know, just thinking about that. Crocodile, you saw the other nations, said that lion, each time that motherfucker went in there, nigga, fuck if he came back.
Brother, get that in the scripture where it says, like, a king's judgment. It's like, just how you can't reverse a lion that's going after his prey. You can't turn back a lion that's going after his prey. That's like a king's judgment. This is back in Daniel 2:34.
You saw till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image on his feet that were of iron and clay, and broke them to pieces.
They were of iron and clay, man, and broke them to pieces, man. Hey, man, these were the end of the times of the Gentiles, man.
That's right.
Do you know, come on, man.
That's right.
Going back to the Assyrian Babylonian Empire was 605 BC.
Right.
Correct me, Zaquan Yash, about 605. That's the beginning. That was the beginning of the rulership of the heathen. Now we're at the end. And what's going to show up at the end? Yahushua! That's what time we're in, man. The scriptures give context as to what time we're in. And when you don't understand scriptural context, you don't know why there's so-called UFOs flying everywhere.
And it's the point, since you're saying that, and you can tell it was that fathership because it was so bright, it gave light at night, and it was a shade in the daytime. But all the nation of Israel could fit under it, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, because like how he ain't covered this chick.
Yeah. And when you, Malachi 3:6, I changed not. So the fathership in the beginning is going to be probably a modified version of the same fathership. You know? Verse 35, this is the last one, you all. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, the time of the Gentiles, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. Nuclear destruction. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth.
Yep, that's the fathership. And then on the spiritual level, a mountain is a government. So ultimately, all right, Yahushua is going to establish a government. All right, that's going to dominate the world, man.
That chariot is beginning of that government.
The chariot is the beginning of that new government. Yahushua, I know peace. Shaquat said he had a peace on first. I got you.
This is Isaiah 42 and 13 of GMT. It says, the Lord goes out to fight like a warrior. He is ready and eager for battle. He gives a war cry, a battle shout. He shows his power against his enemies. The Most High Yahweh says,
it's like a warrior, a fighter entering into the ring. When Yahweh shot into this ring, he gonna give off that battle cry, man. You see certain fighters when they come out and make their appearance, they see in the ring, they give off that battle cry, man. know? So Howard Shot, he's gonna come into this realm and he's gonna unleash all that pent up rage he got for his enemies, man, beginning with Esau.
I know this is off the script, but then he's doing one of the best cardios that you can. Zone 2 cardio or fire. Zone 2. And up here.
Verse 14.
Hey, so literally Yahushua is going to be inside that fathership and he's going to be screaming. He's over Salakia. What, that's what, second Ezra? Hey, how is every eye going to see Yahushua? He has to be standing on top. So yeah, correction. Yahushua will be standing on top of that fathership because the scripture states every eye shall see me. So he's going to scream as he's coming to the spiritual realm. I mean, leaving the spiritual realm, coming into the earthly realm.
There's no shift, look like his horse.
That's right.
You on your horse going into battle. You know?
That's heavy spiritual power. Like for people blind right now, they're gonna be able to see it that very day. How should I say it coming? Verse 14. The Most High says, for a long time I kept silent. I did not answer my people. But now the time to act has come. I cry out like a woman in labor. I will destroy the hills and mountains and dry up the grass and trees. I will turn the river valleys into deserts and drive up the pools of water.
And that's literal too. Because those laser beams. Because they're not saying the mountain was not mad at the river. Not mad at the river. Because those laser beams are drying up ponds and rivers. Probably tsunamis, yeah. Come on, man. Shake it up and take time. Come on, man. All right.
Verse 16. I will lead my blind people by roads they have never traveled. I will turn their darkness into light and make rough country smooth before them. These are my promises, and I will keep them without fear.
These are my promises. I will keep them without fear. All right. So this is the impact of the general coming to the earth. Keep the same terrorism.
Say captain of my salvation.
Yeah, you know the connotation he says. Yeah. Well, like you said, he's the captain of our salvation. He's the Lord of hosts. So basically, that's an ancient way of saying general. The general is the Lord of armies. You know, he's the warlord of them. Alright?
Like when Yahushua returns, you know the scripture says, and I saw him from heaven and new earth, he's talking about refreshing. A refreshed earth, and which I just brought out. You mentioned capital. You know, when Yahushua return, that's going to be the start of everything new. The laser beams is going to what? Drive seas, create tsunamis, earthquakes. That's terraforming the earth. That's terraforming the earth, making it new. By destruction. First, you burn up the field and allowing the ground to become better with that soil, with the ashes and stuff like that. You know, then you'll be able to regrow. Because you can't build something if something is already on them. You gotta do it. If you want to build another building, you gotta tear that building down. You know? So when Yahushua return, that's a tearing down this earth age. Esau age.
You get through construction, you got specific teams just for demolition. We call it demolition. So you gotta get the tools to break things down and get that debris out the way. Then you start reconstructing. So that's the time we're coming into, man. We're coming into a time where the Lord of hosts is going to have a demolition project now. A global demolition project. All right, then, because what's another effect of that demolition? The aftermath of World War III. All right, because what does it say in Ezekiel 39? Now they're going to have our servants or slaves to get those bodies up. Yep, you got it.
You just got that glitch project, and that building hits the ground and shakes. Like the whole world will shake. You know, when America gets nuked on other sides of the world, too.
It says in Haggai too, how the earth is going to quake it.
Yes.
This Revelation 14:15. So verse 14, NLT. Then I saw a white cloud, and seated on the cloud was someone like the Son of Man. He had a gold crown on his head and a sharp sickle in his hand. Then another angel came from the temple and shouted to the one sitting on the cloud, swing the sickle, for the time of harvest has come. The crop on earth is white.
Okay.
When you come back, what? That's the time. That's the time. Hey, As the scripture says, let him that's filthy, let him be filthy still. He is holy, let him be holy still. You know? Yahushua gonna come back and beam with his elect. You know, that's the that's filthy. And all he burning up his elect, he burning up the chaff. 2/3 of the rest of this world. You know?
Two-thirds of our people, they're not profitable to the people. They take those personalities and bring it to a people. I have been meditating on this concept the last week. You take a trip to Europe, you go on a tour to the palaces in Europe, right? And you go and visit the nobles of Europe, right? You can't bring ratchet ass Keisha to the palace in Europe. You can't bring a YN out there. He doesn't pick it. He doesn't get groomed to put it there. But it's going to be very distasteful experience, man.
As far as she said that, we're gonna Fourth Avenue, and if they have an all-white party, come up in there with a jersey on a big cap. You can't get in that joint.
Can't get in there.
You know?
Because the kingdom is going to be a theme of class. See, this kingdom is a theme of class. But the kingdom to come is going to be a theme of class, man. So, yeah, hey, that which shall be is that already. There's no thing of the sun. So you know we're going to have fasting reading of food. You know it's going to be dealing with the heart and the kingdom, man. But this demonic, low nature, low chakra, they call it energy, is not going to fit into the new kingdom, man.
When the Lord is saying the earth is right, it means that the earth is serious in relation to the heavens.
Because these things not trying to be right.
And it's also the topic of how the earth works, it's meant to feel. You know, just going to the left hand, pretty much the anti-Yahweh agenda that's been going on throughout the whole world. So it's not as ready for that taking.
Right? So we're going to experience the earth and the kingdom. But the difference between the 1/3 and the 2/3, the 1/3 were impressionable enough to be molded by Yahweh Bashman Shai. Right? The 2/3, there was the what do you call it? The thing that's connected to the silver, the drops. 2/3 is the drops. So the Most High has to get rid of the drops, or through thermonuclear fire, and he's going to bring that 1/3 through the fire. Because we've been going through a refinery process since we've woken up to this truth. So that's a beautiful thing. The water head pop for Yahweh Bashman Shai for dealing with us, at least to the level that we have the potential to get to the kingdom. We don't know if we're going to get it, but he's dealt with us. We know that we've been called. We don't know if we've been chosen. We know we've been called. It's a good chance if we didn't do it. All right, go ahead, bro.
This is Ezekiel.
Yeah, bro.
This is Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 20. As they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you.
Yep. Because 2/3 of our people not going to make it. It says I will bring he's out to the third part of the fire. So to the effect, the 2/3, they're going to get burnt now. Jacob's trouble is for the 2/3.
Because we're going through the spiritual fire now,
Right.
So the elect goes through that spiritual fire and comes out of that spiritual fire, but the 2/3 and the non-elect, they're going to get destroyed by that physical fire. You know, but really 2/3 because really the lake of fire is actually classified America only.
Right. 2/3 of our people like into those spiritual defects. It's on the assembly line. What you do, you discard this, you throw them away. You toss them to the side.
If I can add, this is the process, what you call what they do with the steel mill. So what they do, they put all the scrap metal to this big furnace and they melt it down. And the iron that they use to make the rebar, they go to the bottom and they got a latch. They open up, it's called the tap. So they open up that latch and all the iron that they gonna make rebar with come out their doorway. And then the rest that they gonna discard of it stay at the top and they discard it. So that's what the Lord doing, because he put us all in America like scrap metal. Then he turned the fire on. And then the elect separated from the BS. And now he gonna tap, he gonna bring us up and separate us, and then he gonna discard 2/3. You know?
See, and it's becoming more and more evident is the who's the ones that are who's the two. Because there's a great stark contrast in the nation of Israel. You can see it in person and on social media. It's like night and day. There's a movement and a wave that's going closer to sorcery. witchcraft, closer to drill culture, demonic death culture, real phone culture, adult culture, money culture, and there's that culture. Then there's the basically let's abstain from the ways of the West culture. Not saying those are the 1/3 in town. Let's abstain from the West. Let's get more into minimalism. Let's grow our hair natural. Let's practice celibacy. Let's, you know what I mean? And those Hebrew Israelites are right type of mindset. You know what I mean? We've seen that too. We've seen women say, hey, we should be more like Sarah. We should be more like Rebecca. So we're seeing a stark contrast in our people. And then it's becoming quite clear as to who's more of a 2/3 mindset, who's more of a 1/3 mindset.
It's a dark council, it's a majority of Jakes, they vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a dark
You can see it, man. It's like a dark cloud over everything.
You can tell we to the end too, because Esau is not even high Satanism. He's letting you know that they're warlocks and witches, man. It's all over now.
If I can add, because you remember we used to always give them the matriarch. Now they call it the dark matriarch. Well, I satanic, you know, the matriarch.
It's a whole different vibration when a woman is in control versus a man is in control. It's a very dark, demonic spirit on the nation of Israel right now. Alright?
Like I said, that brother Squad did a good video on
Eastern Star.
yeah, and I seen that shit. That's fucking crazy ass shit, bro. And the women all in the surroundings, man, them bitches are wicked as fuck,
Yeah,
man.
they more, to me,
Them
they seem
hoes are
like, that's
wicked,
what I'm
bro.
saying. They seem like they're more wicked than the Freemasons.
Man, them hoes ain't right, bro.
Because the Eastern Stars is nothing but a female version. Guess where it started at? Guess where it started at? Richland, Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah, check out Squad video.
You know, Mississippi is a very, what do you call it? Like a college, black college type of, there's a lot of things going on here as far as like a college basis.
It's HBC.
That's the water, baby. It's like an HBCU spirit.
You got two of the no, you got three. You got Delta.
Yeah.
Delta.
Mississippi Valley too.
Yeah, Mississippi Valley, Jackson State, and all of them. Three HBC. Then Tougaloo, that's four. Tougaloo private, though, HBC. That would make sense how she really went with it. She should be like right there below East.
That's it. Yeah.
Waiting on that one.
Yeah, he did. Tongue out.
And we accept that.
Yeah.
There's that 2/3 energy down there in heaven. And but like you said, man, the spirit, and it's a different Eve than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
This is a different Eve than 2003 to 90s. Almost every Eve you run into, she into witchcraft straight up. And you can tell she got spirits on her now, man. You can tell she got spirits on her now, man. So the Most High is separating the men, man. That who would have known that men to be on a celibate journey, or celibate or no fap, man. Men are unplugged from the whore. They're abstaining from the whore, man. All right, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to interrupt you. Pat, we have to do something. Everybody. All right, you can go through this.
In the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, being confident in this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Yahweh Shah.
So, hey, although we don't know we're chosen, we're still supposed to be confident enough to continue to move forward, even when we stumble, man.
And look at it too, though. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people in this world, especially America. But who doing what we doing too? But you gotta look at that too, though. So.
All right.
This is the book of Titus, chapter 1, starting at verse 15. Unto the pure, all things are pure. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving, is nothing pure. But even their mind and conscience are defiled.
Hey, 2/3. And read that, look.
But even their minds and conscience is defiled.
Right, because under the sorceries of the mind, whether it's Christianity, or joining a sorority or a fraternity, the black culture, believing in its political system, believing in its religious system, right? They defile something. They're a defiled onion. Go ahead, bro.
And like say that the pure, it goes also into purified by fire. And like I was saying, it's heating up and separating that drops from the raw material, raw metal. You know what I'm saying? It's showing that basically the men of the Lord and the true believers are going to eventually be separated from the world and the people who participate in these westernized customs. To the best of their ability.
That's right, bro.
And it's a separation through the spirit right now. You might sit right next to your coworker, but y'all are separated. Y'all physically next to each other, but spiritually y'all are separated. Yeah. You and your woman, y'all in the same bed, but you might be sleeping on. You sleeping with the right. It's not. Come on, man. Lot was the number one man at the time, and his wife didn't make it. That shit real. So look, you did that video. A lot of the brother's first wife might not make it something to the effect, or even if she's not an Israelite wife, man. It is a lot of times the woman you next to, y'all two different spirits, man.
Because well, Micah 72 has to be fulfilled. Then she would say Yahweh. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So in order for her to, no, I was about to say for that woman, in order to know basically Yahweh's name, y'all had to have, or she had to have some form of an intimate connection with that man.
Then this nigga woman too on TikTok, they talking about this Yahweh guy, and then they mocking him. You know, they say all this negative stuff about him. You know, even women who are not your direct wife, they hear about the Most High and they mock him. You know, so now these little gummy bears they scoffing us, and this is all evil is we're like gummy bear with a lace front, man. But now those that scoff us and they speak on the Hebrew God, they're gonna get judged.
Yeah.
Because only reason why Eve has the power she has and the mindset she has, because of Esau, and the spiritual demon Satan. She's powered economically by Esau and spiritually by Satan. Man.
That's her superpower. That's why a woman has this to back you up. That's why she has what? Women's intuition.
Clairvoyance.
That's how she knows.
And I don't want to stretch this because it was 2 o'clock in the morning, man. But I believe when I heard a voice whispering in my rear ear. And I believe that voice be, forward in their agenda. It's like what to say to him next.
Bro, the book of Job. The scriptures of Job. And there, somebody get that. Seal the instructions. You can break it down as a point.
That's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I wake up and it's like I hear somebody whispering in my rear ear. You know how? Yeah.
You flip the car 10 times and walk away.
Yep. With the kid.
Yeah.
Hey, no. What about that incident? About this chick. Anyway, she killed her boyfriend and his best friend. She crashed into a wood wall for $100,000. 2 dead, she made it up there. And she's an Israelite woman.
And like that Apostle I said, they hardly ever get sick, But then they so witchy. They so witchy with gaslight, toxic, manipulative. You about to come to her with a problem. Next thing you know, you defending yourself with a problem. She's flipping it. Now you trying to explain your innocence, man. Now, wait a minute, this is about you. They just witchy and real deceptive. But the point is, man, they're powered by that spiritual demon Satan. That's why they all look the so-called churches and went straight into witchcraft, man.
Right.
All right.
Job 33:16. Then he opened the ears of men and sealed their destructions.
Women too?
Yeah.
Women too?
Because why doesn't this thing you call spirit? They call it spirit, their God. Because why is it this spirit? She never gives you instruction on how to build something with a man. It's always some individual shit that keep you away from the man or how to destroy a man, but they never give you the intuition on how to build with a man.
Right.
And it's always something interpersonal like a relationship. What if the spirit give you the insight on how to build your nation back up? You got it.
Is that Job 33:15? In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men,
So your woman was in that deep sleep.
She was in that
What time was it?
2 in the morning.
That's that REM sleep. So you heard through the spirit of Shema Shah, you heard that angel, that spirit come to her when she was in her REM sleep.
And a lot of you women, just how men got succubus, women deal with the incubus, man. That's why y'all so adulterous, y'all so full of adultery and sexuality, because y'all be dealing with sexual demons in y'all sleep, man. A lot of y'all be having sex with spirits, and it's like not actually having sex, but the vision be playing over your mind. That's why Eve is so full of lust when she's in the real world, man.
Because the point that makes sense. That's why you wake up sometimes in the morning, not saying this, but you see scratches and shit. You see what I'm saying?
Because I know y'all didn't have freaky sexual dreams. You know, y'all had demon visions, but Eve,
Them demons will molest your ass.
yeah. But they harassing the prophets. But see, a lot of these women, they be having sex in their dream. You see, they be having sex with spirit, you know, in their dream. They having sex. So when they in the real world, they always thinking about what? They full of their lower nature.
So you stop jumping on top of that woman at nighttime.
Yeah, and this dude is in that dream is not you. You know, go ahead.
and slumbering upon the bed. Then he opened
Slumber is what? Sleep. You knock the fuck out.
But you
That's that real sleep,
That's that real
Zaquan.
sleep, that's right. Because your so-called frequency is so damn high.
Hey, Zaquan, I feel like, hey, Elder Kazal, check this out. Tell Elder Kazal what you heard.
No, it was a real I was dealing with a while back, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just know I heard a voice whisper in her ear. And I believe it was the spiritual demon saying, giving her that instruction on how to further cause confusion and all that. Because you know, it's part of that witchcraft and part of that control is break your spirit as a man. Yeah. It's always a narrative of something you did wrong, something you doing wrong, but really it's just a deflection from the fact that she ain't doing nothing. But all that is Satan's, man. Because you already oppressed at work. You oppressed over the bills. But now you're going home and dealing with oppression, psychological oppression.
Hey, Zaquan, I remember I had met a chick here at Cap 3 years ago. We disconnected. We attempted to engage years later. But she told me, she said, I tried to remove you from the camp.
Yep.
She told me that, and then as she was talking to me, it wasn't her, it was Satan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I seen it.
Yep. And be careful out there too, man. All right, because Satan Trojan horses himself through women. And we love women, but sometimes we'll forget that it's a bounty on our head.
She's a ghost.
She's a vessel. So Satan, a Trojan horse, a woman, to come into your life, man. All right, and you're not seeing it through the spirit. You really should just an agent to overthrow you, man, until you can remove your crown. Red, come on, man.
made by that group about a year and a half ago. We was saying that same. I told you that chick said to me, she said, you left your family. You're going to be with some folks that don't even care about you. Remember you learned that from my dad?
That's right. That's right.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 22, and verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you that he may sift you as wheat.
Hey, that's why it says, fight to good fight of faith, man.
It's important also about faith. Self in the Greek goes into inward agitation. You know?
Because part of the no, you can
Not just as what I'm saying. This the Greek word synazio for sift, and it says by inward agitation to try one's faith to the verge of overthrow.
to the verge of overthrow, man.
Yeah, so Satan attacks the heart.
Which is the mind.
Which is the mind. Hey, when you think about Spider-Man, right? And when Green Goblin, you know, that spirit jumped on that dude, the spirit of Green Goblin, what he said about Spider-Man? Attack the heart, and he pulled up the grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Satan did. He'll pull up on our women to get us removed out this truth.
I remember the name of that movie where they were basically like in the medieval times, and they had to go on a voyage. But I think it was Satan, they mentioned Solomon's seal in the movie. But Satan used the man's daughter to weaken him, to keep him from finishing going back to attack the heart.
Yeah.
Like Satan used his weak spot, man.
Right.
So Satan used your weak spot. Satan used your vices to overthrow you. Look at how vices is not sin, but he'll show you like for the spirit.
Man really be into his woman, man. that woman can be manipulated, and you're not spiritually strong enough to deal with that manipulation, and she can convert you over and have you to fall off the truth.
Had me back in the church.
Right.
On Sundays, man.
Right.
The woman breaking it down, like those Greek sororities, Eastern stars, like their head is Satan. So that's why they have no high regard to us as men. They go and try to call it the goose of the woman for the biblical standard.
But you know, they're not inheritance and beneficiaries of that covenant. Those women who are in those sororities, they're direct beneficiaries of that covenant that was made in the Bible.
And you notice anything about these women in these sororities, what they push, independence. Independence.
So that was one brought into it. That's why they had that free independent spirit.
Yeah, bro. And that's what Eve wanted in the garden. She had the world, but she wanted to have Adam's status.
And that's how you know, like that spirit of the Greek fraternity, sororities, Eastern stars, all that traces back to that spirit of the servant within the garden.
That's it.
It's all symbolism at the end of the day.
And also the Eastern stars, their symbol is out there Baphomet. You know?
And this is the money vibration.
Yes.
You know, they don't have the same vibration as like the chick that work in Popeye.
Nah,
You know, you get a chick that work at fucking Popeye or Dollar General. She got like a regular spirit on her.
That's good.
She more humble, she just cooler, but no women that come out of those colleges, especially they get into those sororities, they got a different spirit on them.
But you know why those sororities? Because they're doing those rituals. So that brings in closer to Satan. So they on a different level. Like when we would work, we fast, we pray, we engage with the brotherhood, we didn't come to the house of Shema through all righteous rituals. But those Eastern stars and those frats and sorors, they have to get close to Satan on the left-hand side doing their rituals. Man.
They actually know spirits.
That's all they do.
But you know, I believe it because we all know them personally, and the spirit is on them like Satan. You know? And one trait that you see on those women is they're antagonistic towards the masculine male. They feel they gotta condescend, in some way they gotta emasculate you.
Yeah.
In some way, those women that got that witchy spirit, they gotta emasculate a man.
And that's what these are doing to Africa.
Emasculate you. But the moment a woman tears down your frame, a moment she tears down those guidelines that Most High gave you, you've already been conquered. She ain't interested. That city has been conquered. You see? Okay.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 8. This people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, they honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me.
Man, take the nation of Israel is so behind. I still have 90s nostalgia, you know, 90s gospel songs. The Mississippi Mass Choir, kids, spirituals.
No, I'm going to agree with you.
They can sing it up, but guess what? They get the bum up with you. Alright? Commit adultery.
They start out the book and talk about
They go to the church. Yeah, they all in the church. Yeah. I remember the preacher used to give us incentives for the sororities and fraternities to come to the churches. Like, hey, this next Sunday gonna be Bring Your Sorrow Sisters.
Right.
Real fat brothers.
That's why the Lord said he does not dwell in temples made by hands. Because these churches are nothing but temples for Satan, man. You know, the people just go in there and worship any god. They come as you are. So you can be a homosexual. Huh? Yeah. You can be worshiping other gods. You can whatever, just show up and just fill the plate up. That's really all they care about. Churches don't even have pulpits no more, really, man. They got stages. Because it's a big fucking show.
Because it's true for you to be born again. You can't come as you are. You have to change. You have to be broken.
And any place that has no standards, those are the worst places to be. Go to an all-white car, you want to make the clothes. The worst place to be is at a club with no standards. You know, what do you call it? No restrictions. The worst humans out of the nation of Israel are in those non-denominational churches. You know? Alright?
This is for you, Jeremiah 31:22. How long will you go about, O you backsliding daughters? For Yahweh has created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
Yeah, a woman shall compass a man. That's an abomination. And like earlier, that's the woman will bring out. That's the power of Egypt. That's the reincarnation of Egypt, man. Alright, let me down for a second. Let's go like a reincarnation of Egypt. But any nation where a woman is on top, you don't want to be amongst that nation. You know, you don't want to be amongst that nation where the people who built the nation and who maintain the nation are not even acknowledged. Everybody after the spirit of a woman, but nobody acknowledged the men who maintain the nation.
When you investigate the past, the definition is lead. So a woman should go around the ranking or the authority of a man, or a woman should lead a man.
What's the Genesis 3:16 NLT? Your desire should be ruled with you.
And that's right. That's right. Again, when you think about even the concept of these marriage licenses, that's why Jake, you should be married. Like part of that marriage protocol is what the state is primary. So let's say you have a triangle. So you got the primary, which is the state. You have the husband, but the husband has to go through the state to get to the other side, which on the other side is the wife. Now the wife is on the second line, which goes into what injury. So in order for the woman to have connection to her man, she has to go through the state. But at the bottom of that pyramid, you have the Most High at the bottom on a broken line. Meaning what? That the law, statutes, and the commandments do not apply in these so-called marriage rights. That's another reason why there's trouble in the flesh too. Go ahead, sir.
This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 11. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit.
Yeah, you have to into that Greek word. Only thing in the sun, first Maccabees. And it's hard being under these Edomites, man. Let's make a covenant with them. Let's build our gymnasiums, run around making sure our quadriceps and shit. All right, let's live a debaucherous life. Let's be out 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's worship their gods. Because all that Greek stuff goes back to what? Time of the Maccabees, man. Well, Jerusalem had gymnasiums in it, man.
Oh, you said something, yeah, you said we're naked, right? Be read that again, bro.
It says, have the nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit.
To show y'all, this goes back to the garden, Genesis 3:7. And the eyes of them both were opened, Adam and Eve, and they knew that they were naked, and they saw fig leaves together and made themselves naked.
You know, it was the spirit. But guess what? The Grecian way is just the Idumean borrowing of the Egyptian way.
And that's an apron. That's an apron. That's an example of an apron. Because Adam and Eve started acting and started dressing like these other nations.
Yeah, so it was from a spiritual sense and a literal sense too.
Right, right.
Wait a minute. In the uprising of America, right? Did not Alistair Crowley going to what?
Egypt.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Grecians, where did they get their philosophy from?
Egypt.
No new thing under the sun. Alistair Crowley went to Egypt, brought that witchcraft back here.
Now, who was bound in Egypt? Who was bound in Egypt?
Asmodeus.
Yeah.
The angel sent that boy back to Egypt. Asmodeus was struggling, I think it was Sarah, right? Because he was a jealous demon, right? But the angel Raphael bound him up and sent him to Egypt. So that's a real thing.
When you go to that term bound, all it means is station. So Raphael gave him an order to be over there in that region. And Alistair Crowley knew that. That's why he went over there and had that spiritual witchcraft.
Yeah, highest forms of witchcraft in that region.
Hey, and that's why you niggas be getting fucked up, because y'all are Israelites practicing the religion of another nation.
Changing your glory.
That nigga,
Young Pharaoh. Yeah, young Pharaoh.
that nigga, broke polite.
Yeah.
All them niggas that be getting into nature boy,
Malachi Z.
Malachi Z, all them niggas, you know what? Y'all be arousing spirits that ain't even made for y'all. Y'all are Israelites. This was them real demons, man. Thinking you a damn African.
This is Jeremiah 2:13. When my people have committed 2 evils, they have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water.
In other words, sought out the philosophies of the nation. All right? They had no minerals, they had no life force, they had no electrolytes. And you drive. So yeah, it's a young Pharaoh, broken life, and all those guys, man. So it's like he got demons on him. Every demon, but she took to the nation. So if you heard about Esau was the devil, then the demons of God was the Then it's the original people. about to go into a religion of Hamites, man. And it fucked you up.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like years ago, the one he put on this documentary for us, Mondo Magic, and it shows you how left field them Hamites are, man. Like allowing animals to defecate on them, piss on them, to be around corpses, you know. So this is a very dead, you know, this is a nasty lifestyle, man.
And one thing I know about women, especially Eve, they infatuated with them. A lot of the shows they would watch, it'll be shows where they're dealing with like domestic styles and like mysterious things. Like they spirit gravitate to the shows. And a lot of them have an interest in being, what do you call them? You dress up dead people for a clothes, mortician. I know a lot of them, they want to go to be a mortician. And it's money in it, but it's money in other things too.
But you just naturally want to be around death.
The club, the niggas get shot at the most, and people get killed the most. Guess who goes there and throws? The women.
Eve, yeah.
Eve.
So she lived up legend dead.
Yeah.
But she lived it.
The most grimiest niggas. The most grimiest nigga that you know got hats. Guess who we fucking with? Guess who know him like they know?
Eve. Like Chicago, Eve, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but
That dope queen.
But if you don't have that energy in you, right, like as a man, if you don't have that dark energy, guess who you have a hard time attracting?
I'm talking Eve.
Well, yeah, them type of Eves, but like this is, you know, that you right.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I was saying women in general.
Women, women and they gravitate to that dark shit, man. Women say they want what type of boy? What type of bad boy? So if you ain't got that dark shit in you, man.
And it's crazy, like sodomites get some of the most women, bro.
Yeah.
Bisexual, yeah. But, you know, yeah, but they got that dark nature, but women love this shit.
But they'll still sleep with them type of niggas, bro. That's what makes you sick. You know they homosexuals, bisexuals, but you still done lay down with them.
Which part of the white say? Black women should give birth to gangsters and homosexuals. But that's who she fucking with though. That's who she, because the good man a lot of times culturally is getting cheated on. The guy is not like that. It's a structure, stability. They call it a stability nigga. Like the hard work, a lot of times he's slick getting back though.
He's boring. He's very boring.
Like that woman that got unalived that went to the Nissan play. Her boyfriend unalived her, right? But he was a bisexual and he was a Satanist. He was a bisexual and he was a Satanist. But guess what? That's perfect. That's made shit.
This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me.
We take counsel in Christianity. It's not in the Bible, ironically. Alright? We take counsel in what else they get into? Witchcraft, street culture. Well, the preacher telling. We take counsel, but not in how much more so?
Science.
More science, 5%ers. Because your East Coast niggas be picking out deep, man. Y'all lost too.
Y'all know 5%. 5%.
Hey, why would somebody be 5% of anything? But you gonna talk on the phone is 5% charge. Really not 5%. Why would you want to take counsel with somebody only knows 5%, man? And I know y'all think y'all the elite, but y'all don't know shit either, man. The down south niggas got that slave shit going on, that Christian religion, but y'all got that deep and shit going on. Y'all done read the whole dictionary high. You know, this is a bunch of deep shit, but you're still in a shitty situation just like anybody else, man.
Yeah, it's like, and you can have a good understanding of numbers. That can mess you up too. Like, you know, because you get so deep into that stuff, like the others, you know, speaking on, that unlock them, you know, certain spirits, man. Like them spirits message.
They kinetic shit, leave it alone.
Yep.
Because that's going to be a death to you. Hell can mess with it, but you can't.
That's what Tupac said on the documentary. Kingdom, he was like basically, he was in the jail with 5%. He said, you can tell me how far the sun is from the earth and the moon and this and that. He said, show me how to get a goddamn keys out of this jail cell.
Right. You all this theoretical.
Yeah, you know, there's all this theoretical deep shit.
But that's deep, Saquon, because they got all the answers to all this shit, right? But they can't explain how we can get out of this captivity. This the jail cell.
That's it.
How can we get out of this situation?
What we learn about being deep is that it doesn't compete with the it doesn't compete with the Holy Spirit. It doesn't compete with the Holy Spirit, man. He had bro polite was in those debates, but he got to a point where when it was time for him to speak, it was like, bro, he didn't really have. He just said a bunch of shit that just was deep. Yeah. I thought, wow, it's like it doesn't work, man. That's why we see the beginning of you and we see the end of you, man. It never fails.
And I know a lot of brothers like 19 Keys, but I get that same vibe from him and him as well.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I just speak as a man. I could be wrong, but these could just be new inputs. Because, you know, they could be, it could be control opposition. But at some point, when they don't have the confidence, they're going to start going up.
Yeah, I personally believe that 19 Keys set up, man. Like, you know, that dude got to be funded.
But even Yaki, I mean, he get into the body and the fruit, and he tapped into that. But he started talking about the book of Revelation. He started talking about the Bible. You think it's in your cell phone? Because you
dead deep, but you don't know that.
You don't know that. They don't logically add up.
And they had him in Best in Atlanta last weekend as a guest speaker as well. So he's doing that right there.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, when it comes to healing the body, cool. But when they ask him about Book of Revelation or the Quran, and then the first podcast, he was wearing all black, and he had his hand like that.
There you go.
Yeah. So I was like,
Control opposition.
There you go. And I'm gonna say this: anything that goes outside the standard of the Most High is a form of Satan. You know, because they have to give you some truth to make it believable, which we all know. But then they make that sharp love, and that's to throw you off.
Hey, the switch.
And the only people who have been consistent are the prophets of Yahweh Shai. When you look at people in the world, they start going one way, and you like them for that. Then they get a notoriety, they get a name for themselves, and then they go left, and then you don't recognize them no more. They do it in every fashion of the so-called corporate world, the entertainment world, the sports world, the music world. Selling soap every single time.
And you got to. I just did a video on the soccer player, and he said that he was a weak soccer player. He said, so the contract consisted of what a dude instructed him, like, look, if you want to be a part of this, it costs. So he said, like, if they give you a contract, if you sign in the blood, you got 20 to 30 years to just have fortune and family. But if you want to extend the pact, then you got to start sacrificing family members. You know what I'm saying? So you start seeing these celebrities with all of a sudden a pattern of loved ones or people that are close to them, they start perishing and shit like that, they sacrifice them kids. Or you get a celebrity that get this status for about 20 years and all of a sudden he's dead, he sacrificed himself. And that's the reason why LeBron James continues to play, because he has to sacrifice somebody. It's going to be either sons or a daughter. But you got to give up something.
And then he come to the game throwing with symbols up and shit.
That's a ritual we started there.
Yeah, cloud,
Look, that's going back to the roots.
And this is our 2 Corinthians 11:3. But I fear, at least by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Mashiach.
Now it seems like a young hero, you see like different comments of Jimmy talking about how he awakened me years ago. How did he awaken me? Because he used so-called big words, it's just trapped up, man. The scripture goes about the simplicity of how it's simple, straight to the point. But your way.
All those things belong to the Havashah. Like, we're going to get more into it in the kingdom. Most likely going to give us that zodiac sign, man. He's going to give us that how can I put that? We're going to get the numerical aspect of the Havashah. We're going to get the science aspect of the Havashah. Right now, it's about the Holy Spirit. Right now, it's about the Holy Spirit. It's good enough. It's good enough.
That's why I say that. What it say? Well, that's why King Solomon had instructed Rehoboam of making the many books that there is no end. You know, so you want to get all deep and philosophical. You know, it's really a trap, man. You know, the Bible and the Lord, He keeps us grounded. As Bill said, we got enough.
Real quick. Hey, let's speak Revelation 22 verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb.
Yeah, and that deals with the zodiac.
That's right.
You know, that the understanding of the heavens, you know, and basically how it affects us here on the earth.
You know? Yeah.
To your point, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits,
Yeah, them 12 signs are coming.
the zodiac
Yeah,
sign,
zodiac signs, yeah.
and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
So right now, you know, that knowledge, part of that knowledge exists. When Eve, for example, gets all into it without the Rakaka doctrine. Jake gets all into it without the Rakaka doctrine. So you're not going to get the beauty of existence and the knowledge of creation into the kingdom.
Because the healing comes from his word.
Yes.
And all of them talk about being conscious, being woke, and being on a higher level, higher vibration. You cannot do any of that without the Holy Spirit of the Heavenly Father.
You know what I've noticed with this woke stuff? The very thing that you were aware to stay away from, the very thing that you call yourself exposing, like the Illuminati, 15 years later, you into the same thing that you was reading about. You into the same symbols, you into the same entities. Now you got the all-seeing eye tattooed on you.
Yeah.
First, the all-seeing eye meant, you know, with the eye of Horus.
Yeah, eyebrow.
It said you so conscious and you went back to Egypt, and the very thing you was reading about, you became.
Well, them niggas think it's a Carnegie man.
Right there. Shit gets big.
And then Charleston White, he had his pillar of being in the community, of being in the court systems, fighting for Jake. He said, nigga, I did that shit when I was broke. He said, I got money now, I ain't still no niggas in the I ain't still no niggas in the book.
Yeah, because he was talking down on designer clothes. So he got that money, he started wearing designer clothes. You know? So, I mean, hey, Jake, like I said, Jake get that bag and switch it up. That was a good point. Oh, yeah.
Isaiah 30:1, it says, woe to the rebellious children, says the Lord, that take counsel but not of me, and that covered with a covering but not of my spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Islam, man. Which any part of Islam that has beat to it or some type of structure, they got from Yahweh Shai. What did our forefather David say, man? He said, evening, morning, and noon, I would lift up my prayer to you, man.
Bro, and that's now prayer 3 times a day to the east.
Come on, man. What did our forefather David do? Prayer David 6, man.
That's right.
I'm sorry, but our forefather David do. He prayed to the east 3 times a day. This is 600 years before Yahweh Shai. Around 600. Huh?
Mecca.
Right. But you know what? You know, in the law in Israel, before Islam was even captured, who went to the Middle East 3 times a year? Who went to Jerusalem 3 times a year? It's in our law. You got 3 major high holy days, and we go to Jerusalem 3 times a year.
And if you do the research on Islam, it tells you how Hebrews, I forgot their names, but it was a man and a woman. They basically taught your boy Muhammad the Hebrew. You know, he was a counterfeit, man, before he got trained, things of that nature. And even in the book of, what you call it? What's the Muslim stuff called? Yeah, the Quran. Even in the Quran, it tells you to believe the prophets. So if it's telling you to believe the prophets, why don't read that? Just read the Bible.
See, the Israelites had chosen people. They got to read the book.
Yeah.
It's not
They came up with 2 books and they put it together and made it comfortable.
made it like simpler, you know, in simpler terms. Because it's repetitive, you know.
Our he was speaking on campus, people seafood. Where you get that from?
It says, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Because when you leave the spirit of Yahweh Shai, you go into the philosophies of divination, and you start multiplying sins because it gives you the freedom to do it. You know? Because part of your ritual, first of all, idolatry is sin, and the thing you do within idolatry is sin.
Because of when the spirit's pregnancy. That's why you see these different guys from the past, like, what's it, Opalite, Pharaoh, Nature Boy, who's a name of the guys like that, you know, so they find way too deep in it. It's like the Lord cast them into outer darkness when they try to take one to the left hand spirit.
They got water kick right into that deep pit.
Because, listen, Ham, you gotta remember, Ham was the freaky son. Ham was the son that was looking at his dad. So why would you speak a tongue? Yeah, speak a tongue. And real Hamites got a demonic spirit.
And that's why we got the land of Israel, because the Most High from Ham first came. That's why we got that land. So things happen. What is freaky ass?
What is the word Palestine come from?
Philistia.
Philistia. Philistines. Because it was formerly their land, but because of their behavior, they got kicked out. You see? They got that freaky demonic nature. A lot of those laws was a direct response to their behavior. A lot of the laws we have, it tells you so to be separate from the other nations. Particularly the Hamites.
That's what made us holy.
That's what made us holy. You know?
Look, I got one. Hey, I don't mean to change the spirit too, man, but you know, you look at this sign, and it's all about the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But at the same time frame, you have a concept of the Israelite family.
Right.
And by your spirit, man, you know, we know you a Jake. So you're an Israelite. We don't know you a so-called Negro, Hispanic, or a Native American, but you definitely a Jake.
Well, you know, David, right, and Solomon, they always rode with Judah.
Yeah, they put a line.
They always rode with Judah.
Yeah.
And you know, the lion rules the jungle with his mom.
I tell about April Mother.
Oh yeah, you an Israelite, boy. Just want you to know, man. So you run across again.
And look, we all are. You know, it's
But
like,
no, we
no
all
matter
are.
who you are, you
No,
God's
no,
son, and
no.
that's all that matters, right?
But hear me out, bro. Just to prove the point, you know, based on your spirit, either you a so-called Negro, Hispanic, or Native American.
I'm actually mixed.
What's your father?
I'm a Bass. Ronnie Bass. My grandmother was Jean Fuzel.
Well, no. What's your father's lineage?
Lineage?
Yeah.
African American, Cherokee Indian,
That's
Indigenous.
You one of us, man. You one of us. So if your father's an African American, then you and your father would be a Negro. You know, so if Jesus was on earth today, he would be an actual Negro. You know what I'm saying? From the tribe of Judah. You know, Judah, Yahweh is how it's pronounced in Hebrew. You know, but in modern terms, you say Negro.
Yeah, Judah always at the end, they just totally go all the way out to God.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast.
Can I say something? That the Lord refers to the other nations as beasts. You know, so that was a direct insult to the other nations, and in particular the Egyptians. You know?
Well, what's the system now? It's beast system.
I would even say it's disrespectful to animals too, by comparing man with beasts. You know what I'm saying? Because beasts don't go against nature. Like the beasts of the field, they actually help you plow the land. You know what I'm saying?
So if a man is righteous,
Look, you got
no, come on,
I was just going to say, the beasts are in order.
that's right. And men that are uncivilized like these other nations, right? That's what makes them beasts.
And that's what makes the so-called white man a beast, because his kingdom is out of alignment with nature. It's out of harmony with nature. You know, he went the kingdom of planet Earth, it has to be in alignment with nature. You got disappearing bumblebees, you got insects and animals that are in danger.
Yeah, there's a big disease going around on the honeybees. I think like 70% of the population is infected because they're mixing the colony.
Hey, this is pretty important. Psalms 73:22. So foolish was I and ignorant, I was as a beast before you.
Before we came into the truth, man, before we received the Kakodash, the Holy Spirit, we were private. You know, we were, a lot of us in that Christian spirit when we were on college campus, a lot of us was in that gang spirit. Have you noticed that all those different things we were into, it go back to Egypt, it goes back to Islam, it goes back to, you know what I mean? It goes back to, the ancient world stuff, ancient world idolatry, man.
It's still J spirit to this day. J saying savage, dog, beast, goat. You know what I'm saying? You're going to some beast in your life. Which means that you're absent in your Holy Spirit, being the law, statutes, and commandments.
They say I'm a demon.
Yeah, I'm a demon child.
Yeah, somebody will have dominion over you.
And this is Rex talking on your homage to your Yahweh Bashman Shai. is controlling your beast in the secret. A telltale sign that somebody has that fear is that self-control.
Yeah. And you're not gonna get that from these churches, man. Because people like Eve Williams, you mentioned how, Eve, so-called black women, and you other women in the tribe, predominantly Judah women, they leaving these Christian churches and they going right into witchcraft. But what's happening is all you're doing is leaving one form of witchcraft for another. You're leaving one form of idolatry and you're going into some other wickedness.
Yeah, the things you see now, dude, you can't do it, man. It's like I'm like to shave his beard. We shave our beard, we got bumps all on our face, bumps all on our face. So you see a law by you the damn time eventually. As soon as you step outside the guys to the law, you get outside the business, man. Alright, so that stuff we're messing with. Alright, it's consequences, man.
And she got sense of like keep a build here for strength.
Well, it's like testicles. It's a sign of manhood. It's a bad family living.
I got something for you, bro. Like this is Romans 8:5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
And first of all, we've been following since 2000 BC. I'm sorry. We've been following since 2,000 years ago. Since the fall of Jerusalem. Then you can just look at the last 40 years of our people, and you can see the great decline. Look at our people from the 70s. It's like the whole people trying to tell people. Look at Eve, so-called black people from the 1960s to now. Look at Israelite man from the 1960s to now. They're degenerated, man.
Ezekiel 37:4. Again he said unto me, prophesy on these bones and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord.
Eddie Murphy, they got out of prison back in the 70s. And he saw the afros and the boom glasses. Imagine they had been in prison since the 1930s, 40s. They saw Jake in the 70s. Like, what the fuck? Remember we were talking out of prison? He saw Jake in the 70s. It was a culture shock. Like, what the fuck? So you can only imagine when Ezekiel 2,000 years ago saw Jake now, he saw Snoop Dogg, Young Thug, Lil Wayne, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Kim.
He didn't explain that.
Yeah, he said.
You see, one of the prophets got sick.
Yeah.
They started splitting out people to their time.
Yep. And the big thing among Jake with the youth, because of these damn rappers, niggas such as Future, and you a goddamn warlock, that nigga gonna have a hell of a death.
Beware the false prophets with the big chain.
But basically, like the big thing is like all your entertainers, as far as the rap world, majority of them hooked on drugs, man.
Or they don't use it, but tell you to use it.
Or that. In the
But
case
Peter
of
said he never used it.
yeah. Yep.
But we saw the warlock. He had 200 people under very heavy intent.
Hey, I get a beat on the Ill Nana. And evoking spirits.
Yep.
Like, it has nothing to do with the song, but then Chris Brown, Trey Songz, all of them saying Ill Nana. But when you say that, you are evoking that spirit, man.
An actual damn deity.
Right.
You broke it down to the point. Basically, it goes into Ashtaroth or Ishtar.
Ishtar.
And they put it to Diana too, then.
Yep.
But basically, it's really like the same demon.
That's it. They just renamed.
Yeah.
That's what it builds this guidance to go into murder, she go into Christian.
I know what I'm saying.
That's why you see the Eastern Stars and those shit like the balcony side. That's why you see them on Eastern Park. They do those pictures. Each point represents like them working with the spirits of the person trying to be initiative.
That was sick.
This is Ezekiel 20:6. It says, in the day that I lifted up my hand unto them to bring them forth from the land of Egypt into a land that I had established for them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Then said I unto them,
Meaning what? It was the fertile land.
which is the glory of all lands.
Right.
Then said,
So the best land is Israel. All you niggas talk about going back to Africa. No, Israel is the fertile land. The so-called fertile land.
Verse 7. Then said I unto them, cast you away every man from abominations of his eyes, and defile not yourselves with the idols of Egypt.
Hey, these philosophies. The reason why we got kicked out of his land and ultimately to that fallen way going to 7 AD is because of what? Continuous spiritual fornication.
Niggas thinking about Christmas already.
Right, bro.
Like, goddamn.
In the stores, like the Halloween season.
Yeah.
It says, I am the
And
Lord.
already y'all niggas don't participate in it, you can't afford. That's the only way.
Yeah. But it's crazy, like it's something like growing up. So I know, y'all know, more than we do. That people used to say that was holiday. Still called Halloween. But now they're pushing that in church. Like, but they got like a little twist with it. But you still doing it, man.
Like I'm eating cabbage and cornbread, what you gonna end up? You'll be so broke after the holiday, gonna be eating on the 1st of July.
When money goes to money, when New Year's you eat that slice flesh. Where's that in the Bible? You eat that chicken.
And when does New Year start?
It's supposed to start in the spring.
Right. Yahushua was born in the spring, niggas.
You got chickens cooking in the pot. The whole house smell like ass, man.
And then December is supposed to be the 10th month. Deca means 10.
October's supposed to be the 8th.
Right, October. We study back here, you all.
September, that's like 7.
That's right.
You know? That's right. There's all Grecian shit because you got August for Augustus. It's July, Julius.
I think so, bro.
You know? So
January, Janice.
So this whole paradigm per se is under a Grecian vibration, Roman vibration. We're not even in alignment with the Eastern way of your Yahweh side. You know?
They show you when your house shot come back, we literally gonna experience a shift. A real shift, like it's gonna be totally different in the kingdom.
Great reset.
Great reset, real reset, yeah.
Because the shifting is starting now in the spirit. Breaking down strongholds.
So this gospel.
Right.
It says, and defile not yourselves with the idols of Egypt. I am the Lord Yahweh, your power.
Well, because when you define yourself, that means well, you have to basically perform these rituals. And those rituals draw you away from the Most High and bring you closer to Satan. That's why Jake's countenance becomes so dark. Because the more you engage with Satan, the darker you become. The more you engage with the light you become.
See a nigga like what's this nigga here? Playboy Carter. See a nigga like that, man. You know what I'm saying? ASAP Rocky. You know? But see, the balance, we gonna see the benefit of righteousness, man. What we're doing.
Good, you want to do it.
You know?
But anyway, bitch these people. Because anytime that any people that Esau put on the stage, guess what? They all little influence, little demonic puppets, man.
Yeah.
The Travis Scott concert.
Yeah.
You took the time when everybody died.
Yeah. And the spirit flow through the crowd. The spirit flow through that crowd. Certain video shows.
You know what? Yeah. I saw that real part of cast, yeah.
It's back in Exodus 20, verse 8. But they rebelled against me and were not hearkening to me, and did not every man cast away the abominations of their eyes.
To this day. And now modern times, you believe, or modern times, because modern goes into just now, what do you believe in? You believe in some form of the American way.
They did not every man cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt.
Right. And the reason why we got kicked out of Egypt is because
Excuse me. Can you tell me where?
Go back to the other people brought out in the 30th chapter. These are the consequences of walking back to Egypt. It says, then I said I will pour out my fury upon them. Go like nature boy, love Pharaoh,
All right, thank you so much.
Sarah Susan said
it says, then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of them in Egypt.
Hey, a lot of them cats, you know, the ones we just talked about, they gonna end up taking the Quran, man. You know, more than likely. You know, they're not speaking against it. You know what I'm saying?
That's their fury. Because their fury starts with them getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Look at that mental state now. He was just like, oh.
But you know, years ago, y'all probably remember this, a while back, this nigga here, young girl, he was actually crashing out. Like I guess he was at his home and, you know, like, yeah, it's like, man, what the hell's going on with this?
But guess what he said? If I ever change, then he got it. He said, if I ever change, if I ever start doing something different, then I got me. And that goes to show you that y'all watch somebody talk with the prophets, because we talk worse than these cats do. You know, you got all these guys that are whistleblowers and so on and so forth, but the Most High got the heads around the prophets. They started with the prophets. That's how I knew about the Rothschilds and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and the thing about it, why they haven't been able to get us
It's that spiritual force.
is the spiritual force field. You know?
So going back to what you said about the delusion, like John Pharaoh, when he did Michigan, he got killed. Or, you know, which makes me believe that he's a project of MK Ultra. He's a diplomat, you know what I'm saying? And now he said he tapped into, like, he channeled the spirit of cat, which goes back John Pharaoh. So I got the that's why he got
Yeah. And then it's, but you know, it's crazy too. It's going back into Egypt. Cause I had researched it, and you know, listen to Yahshua's lesson, like man, like spirit confirming, like men painting nails. That shit go back to Egypt. Yeah. Certain dynasties would do it. In particular, pharaohs. In particular, man.
And then MK Ultra, MK Ultra is nothing but think about your mind of mirror. And then, you know, we get a baseball bat and we break that mirror. And then what we do is we take these broken pieces of this mirror and we started to reconstruct it to our likeness. That's what he saw with us in the mind. Like when you put a mind under extreme stress, you break that mind just like a baseball bat breaking that mirror. And then they reprogram you into this personality the way they want you to. That's all that MK Ultra is.
He channeled the spirit of cat.
Right. So after they broke his mind, so they programmed him into this.
We got to turn that sense of spirit.
And he already exists.
He was out there boxing and shit. Like, you know, it's like he went from that to this shit.
But he kind of
Oh yeah, he's
and then the prison grounds is nothing but recruitment for the elite. Hey, how did King Boy know that he was gonna blow up before he got out? How did Lil Baby know he was gonna blow up before he got out? How did Wallow blow up before he got out? Because they used those prison systems as a recruitment to engineer you niggas, man.
I can imagine Tory Lanez. When Tory Lanez get up, then Betty walked too.
Yeah, Betty walked.
He walked right back into this deal. Big bad and
Wow.
Yeah, because King Brown and that big especially one of those industry prison.
Ecclesiastes 20 and verse 10. There is a gift that shall not profit you, selling out, and there is a gift whose recompense is double.
Yeah, because you know the thing about it, and scriptures say, "Ye are not your own." You know. Now, as of right now, only elected comes by the blood of your house, shot. But at the same time, hey, for 2/3 of our people, you still belong to the Lord. You shouldn't have done what you did, man. You know, becoming this negative influence that Esau Edom can use in the earth. You know, because you on the wrong side, man. You know, but it's gonna be an example, you know, for us that fear the Lord to know, yeah, we on the right side of things. You know, because you don't want to get what these people gonna get, man. Like you know, Elder had read, you know, in Ezekiel, them niggas gonna be in the fire, man. Because once you take that karagma, you gonna be in the fire. Ain't nothing else left, man. You know. Oh well, yeah, what's the karagma? You know, that's the mark of the beast. You know.
Cell phone.
Well, no, it's It's the microchip technology. That's really what it is. Yeah, they got the cell phone. Also, they want to put it in you, just like you hear about Elon Musk with Neuralink. You know that chip they want to put in people's minds. That's the mark of the beast. And also, it's a chip they want to put in people's hands. That's the mark of the beast according to the Bible.
You already can't buy it, or you activate like a credit card. You gotta have a phone.
Well, when it's going to go deeper than that, they're going to actually want to put it in you.
Because you don't have to.
That's even worse.
You don't have to. Still have to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's currency. That's different.
See, because if the MOTV, the Quran was a phone, like they say, then we all we had phones before we found out what the MOTV was. So the MOTV is going to be something that you're going to get warned about first, and then it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we've been warning to the spirit about it. Now you see it coming into fruition.
There's certain people, especially certain things that want to be under the radar. You know, they don't have bank accounts. You know, certain people, you know, they don't pay bills via their cell phone. You know, like everything got to be on paper, so to speak. They got to, you know, go to Walgreens or something like that. So you got ways, you know, where people can get around certain things now, but the marketing speech system is going to interlink everything. So where you can't hide information. It's gonna be mandated. That's the thing. It's not mandatory if you have a phone. So you have a bank account.
We're in a period of gradualism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're in a period of gradualism. Okay, to prove the point, I got two precepts, Revelation 13 and 7, and that no man might buy or sell, save he,
Same meaning except.
right, that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Yeah, it's like this one Bible dictionary. It's like this one Bible dictionary that, you know, me and Abel went into. It pretty much went into how you're gonna be socially and economically cut off unless you have this. So what could that be? It ain't talking about your phone. It ain't talking about the micro C-hip in your debit card or credit card. You know, it is the micro chip technology, but they're gonna actually want to physically put it in you. That's when you took the mark.
And if I can say something, and then even when you break down or the name of the beast, because once you basically take this device, the MC, right? Once you take this device, what happens? Now you become the possession of Esau. Yes, you receive his name, right? If you married a woman, what happens to that woman? She inherits your name. So if you receive this mark, you become his possession. You receive his name. Now it all.
Can I say something? Name is synonymous with brand.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and you know, this chip is from branding.
Right.
Like you said, it's a back foot.
No, the water. Again, or the number of his name. Now you become a UPC code, right? It's a
You know, the United States dollar is backed by Saudi Arabia.
Right. And when you think about that, read that Revelation 13 and 17. Yeah, read Revelation 13 and 17.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 17.
Right.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that has the mark.
So this is a mandate. The mark will be mandated, people. Go ahead.
Or the name of the beast.
Again, if you take this microchip, if you take the microchip, what's going to happen? You become the possession of this system. You inherit his name. Continue.
Or the number of his name.
Now, when you go into that Greek for the number, it goes into what? Chi stigma, right? So it's a diagram of chi stigma, meaning basically how man becomes a UPC code. Just like in evolution, you have the ape becoming man. Well, if you take that marker, if you take that microchip, now you become a UPC code. So look up that diagram, stock silver, and it got a man becoming that UPC code, becoming that barcode.
Yeah, because basically it's all about merging man with machine.
That's it.
You know?
Elon Musk recently stated this. He says Elon Musk predicts smartphones will become obsolete sooner than most people realize.
But why? Even that man, who was it?
Because you don't have that technology
They
in
say
you.
that you're going to be the smartphone now. You should receive the RFID chip.
What's that?
You're going to be called the QR code.
You're gonna be the cell phone. But it was I want to say the CEO of Nokia or Motorola. Nokia. Yeah. It's so why do you have all these different figureheads of these top corporations that are advocating for the technology if it's not real? If it is a goddamn conspiracy theory. It's real. You niggas don't see me in the future? We in the future, man.
And again, we all got cell phones. We all been in various philosophies before being born again. Now jump to Revelation 14:9. Oh, you can say it.
Revelation.
Because if you get this device, ain't no turning back. We all came out of a certain philosophy. We all, going to need these fucking cell phones, right? So it has to be something that's going to be inside of you.
Read Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And I heard angels follow them, saying with a loud voice, any man worship the beast and his image.
That's why it's scary too. Like the Apostle Paul said, we don't want to tempt the Lord, man. You know? Like the fact you got a man of his, status in the spirit to say we can be written out the book of life. Then, think about if you go out past, prophet from the ancient world, you come back in this reincarnation and you take the mark. All them works in the past, it don't matter no more.
And the Most High is not going to allow you to remove it. If you inject that shit into you, the Most High will not allow you to remove it, man. Because that's a judgment. You done sold out.
Yeah. And it's crazy too because the brother Elder Michael Olive from the Ancient Days camp out west, he was just doing a lesson on Revelation 14 today, man. So it's the spirit speaking. Like the Lord is warning you people before the actual mandate comes, man.
And that's why when you jump into the book of Psalms, his house shall continue. His house shall continue.
49. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we see it too.
Yeah, we saw
Here
49.
comes Michael.
This Psalm 49, bro.
This book of Psalm 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Their mindset, their agenda, us we go into the New World Order. Talk about these 13 Levite families that control this entire system. They're the gods of this world. They're not the elite. They deal with Satan on a personal level. They can actually summon up Satan. And you got XP Masons talking about the reason why they have these empty seats at their dinner tables because it's for Satan. And then also a side note, Kobe Bryant used to do that, to pay homage to that deity that was working with him for his greatness in basketball. Like mama, nigga.
John Tide, whistleblower, they say that years ago, that's why the elite stayed within Europe because they want to tap into Satan.
That's right. Right.
Crazy.
That's right.
So their inward thought is that their houses should continue forever.
And that's the point. Their houses shall continue forever. When you go into houses, get there, bro. In the Hebrew, what is house?
The body.
But Yah,
And also
Yeah, you're right. The body.
the organization.
Right?
The body. The
Right.
body of Christ.
So houses goes into what? Your body. Go ahead.
it says house, dwelling, habitation, human bodies.
Human body. That's transhumanism. That's merging man with machine. Because at the end of the day, they want their birthright. They want immortality, and they're trying to get it from the carnal level. So yes, Revelation 13 and 17 supports what? That microchip will be mandated.
And say something to the point. And they'll want to get to a point. That's why Edom must be stopped. If they had their way, there will be no organic life left on earth as far as humans. So, with that microchip technology, it comes to a point to where the fact they know everything about you, if the Lord allows, not saying the Lord gonna let them do it, that they'll be able to take that chip they put in you and put in a damn robotic body of you, for lack of better words, like a cyborg body, and just continue that, and allow those beings to serve them.
I don't know how true it is, but there's a wave on social media that says how life would be like in 2030 when you run out of your air subscription. And when you don't pay your air subscription, and they show Jake Ryan his business, then he can't breathe because he didn't pay his air subscription.
Justin Timberlake.
In time.
In time. In time.
It makes sense if they got the prerogative in you. And I will say this about the phone, it is gradualism into the
Yeah, it's gradualism.
You know, and but in time that barcode represents the Quran.
That's right, bro. That's right.
So, because you have to understand a hunter.
The Kabbalah, you know, all different kind of Kabbalah and stuff like that. The thing with the string.
Well, what I was going to say, Esau the Wakani hunter, right? Esau the Wakani hunter, he bakes you in with something that you find appealing. So the technology that's going to come with that corroborate is going to be appealing.
And also for Cunning's point of view, you and I have been talking about it. Cunning also goes into a hunter of souls. A hunter of souls. Not only animals, this man want to gather up all people, man.
Well, and to let them back to the points of the thing with this technology, especially the one they want to put in your head. All the different applications you're going to have by way of that technology. Like, for example, Zaporn speaks Spanish. He didn't use no goddamn AI. And if he did, so what, right? Because it's not in his mind. So where you gotta, download something. By way of that karama, ain't no hard work. Ain't no studying. Ain't no, X amount of hours you put into something. You just download it in your mind. It's like the Holy Spirit. Yeah. You just download it, different abilities. So pretty much, we're gonna be looked at as old. You know what I'm saying? Played out like, we're outcasts. Or, like we the old way of doing things. Because now you got this technology that replaces us.
Imagine seeing somebody with a flip phone or a paper. Right. You're looking like that.
It's like outdated.
Right. And then use a rotary phone.
But those things are refreshing to hell in my opinion. It's just a freedom, It ain't trackable.
They get in an old school car and winding your window down.
It's refreshing. It's refreshing.
So really, Esau's way of this implementation of artificial technology is pretty much like this artificial way trying to make man into this image.
That's it.
That's why you see on the left side. That's it. And this,
Second total recall. They show you that they got the device in their hand, and that's their phone. That's how they talk.
So right now he wants what a digital person. That's why you see these squat cameras. You know what I'm saying? All this technology, which also goes into with the digital footprint, because ultimately he wants to link you into his system with Revelation 13:17.
Yeah, just imagine social media if you got the Quran. Metaverse. You can literally live a false reality inside their head.
Meanwhile, he enjoys the world.
Reality that look beautiful. The movie service. They didn't leave that house. Imagine. Yeah, I recommend us watching the service. Imagine some jumping. You obviously don't need that. But you got this false reality. But in real life, with that slime, nothing's got to do with when the rain's out, right? But he stayed in a hotel, right? And his hotel was filth. It was filth. But he was a dude that was always a big tour and all that other stuff. But just imagine a lot of Americans gonna be like that. They gonna live in a state of filth like a pig, but in the metaverse, they kings.
And it started with Oprah. Remote job. People didn't want to go back to the office. You know what I'm saying?
CEO of Nokia, by the name of Justin Hutton, says by 2030, smartphones will be implanted directly into our bodies, and 6G becomes fully operational.
And that Lord forbid we had that much longer. But if the Lord did have it that way, that's not a long time. Wait, yeah.
2027.
So 3 years time.
And 2020, what got erected? Those towers. Camouflage on some fake ass trees. Then the earth shifted. They're like existence was different. Now you can't check the last 5 years. The last 6 years, it wasn't like that.
Like something that people that took their very deep. You know what I'm saying? That's the movie of Soul. People shot in service too. The 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come, except there come a falling away first. 78 days. And that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Esau Edom, also known as the Americans of this time.
who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, via Satanism, or there is worship, so that he is as the Most High. He did that during the Renaissance. Sitting in the temple of the Most High during the Renaissance, showing himself that he is the Most High during the Renaissance. So 1960s. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you all these things. I told you these things. And now you know what withholded that might be revealed in his time, for the mystery of iniquity do already work.
Yeah, and that's another way of saying the so-called Illuminati. You know? That's the mystery of iniquity, because the power was in their secrecy, man. So it ain't a mystery anymore. Now you know they're the wicked. That the Edomites spirit are the wicked, but beginning with the top of these bank accounts, man. You know?
For the mystery of iniquity do already work. Only he who now will relent until he be taken out of the way.
It's the Most High, because this man has to be at the end because he's the wicked. Prophecy has to be fulfilled. And he's within prophecy. That's being the wicked. He's the end of the world.
Verse 8, and then should that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
1969.
Right.
Right? And it intensified during 2007.
Whom the Lord Yahweh shall will consume with the spirit of his mouth.
And that's the holy prophet for the Lord. Hosea 12 and 10. Yeah.
And it says it should destroy with the brightness of his coming.
The house are coming back from the spiritual realm.
Even,
What's the heavenly hopes?
even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Esau's coming is after the working of Satan. That's the spiritual father. Now, when you go to Malachi 4 and when you go to Matthew 4 and 8, what does Satan tell you how it's done? All the glory of his kingdoms I would give to you if you would bring out and worship me. So that shows you that the Babylonian, the Median Persian Empire, the Greek, the Babylonian Empire, all of them worship Satan. All of those other nations bow down and worship Satan.
And also land back to bro, that word for working, it goes in the energy. Yeah, so Esau, Edom, you know, that working, he's operating, you know, under the direct influence. That's really going to say, these other kingdoms before him, they did too. But he's at the direct vessel. So the Lord, he saved the wicked for last. There's going to be this system. Esau, Edom, by way of this system, is going to implement the mark on peace.
So we talk about Ham being the lunatic is wicked, but Ham has nothing on Esau because Esau is the wicked.
And go back to serpent.
That's right.
Now ultimately go back to the garden.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he's the elect of wickedness.
He's Satan on earth. He is Satan on earth. He's the physical incarnate of Satan. That's how with the physical likeness of Yahweh Hashem side. It's a direct polarity. Esau, so-called white man, is a demon on earth, man.
Again, it's a bad because the pulling up, and even Rothschild know that they're the Edomites because what did they name themselves? From Bayer to Rothschild, which means what? Red shield. They're telling you they're Edomites.
And then when you look up, because the farthest you can trace Esau back is the damn Khazar Empire. I'm sorry. Macedonian Empire. They don't attach the Macedonian Empire to anything biblical. That's why they said one of the reasons why the Apocrypha was sent here. Because it drew that bridge between the Grecians and the Macedonians and the damn Amalekites.
Right.
Yeah, you would have to understand, like you said, by bridging that gap, you know, it reveals that they are the Edom.
Amalekites to the Macedonians to the damn Grecians. And when you go on Google, Google doesn't link the Macedonians to the Edomites or Amalekites.
Because even the book of Numbers, it talks about what? The six. Once was the Edom, man.
So he quick about to ask Chad a question. What will people be like in 2030 with the advancement of technology? I'm just gonna read it quick. Said by 2030, technology will likely change how people work, communicate, learn, shop, travel, and even make decisions. It possibly won't mean that humans suddenly become robots, but everyday life may feel much more automated and digitally connected.
Hey, what they said earlier, gradualism. You know? See, you know,
Where everybody gonna be working on? I said, where everybody gonna be working on?
No job. No job.
Well, AI taking over like robotics,
Amazon and all that.
Robotics and seats.
The big tech companies let them come in and just kill the job.
Yeah, unless you take the mark of the beast, there will be certain jobs reserved for you to be a part of the system.
This is cool what y'all saying. AI has taken over telemarketing, well, we call it like customer service. So a lot of times you don't even talk to a human over there. You got one lot of times.
And then depending on what service you are calling, talk to a human not even option anymore. They force you to talk to the AI.
Like, if AI runs off man, just think about how much just knowledge that AI has been collected from watching. It can get wicked.
Yep, and that's the whole point of these data centers. But and the thing about it, they're gonna build them everywhere. Like, you know, there's some pushback down here in Mississippi. It's like in a few places, I want to say in Meridian, that there are already some erected, but they want to do it in this. But like, they want to build it in the Jackson area. There's some pushback. Ultimately, you can't stop because it's the agenda of the elite. Just like you can't stop the MOTB mandate because there are certain states they already, you know, because there are articles on it. There are certain states that already they banned the preemptive microchipping of their employees. Like employers can't just put a mandate on, you know, at their job that employees gotta receive.
Well, they're doing babies like that.
But that's on this end game. You know, ultimately that's what happens. You know, but it's going to show you, even though there's a ban in certain states, I would say Washington, but it's a good number of states, maybe like 7 or 13 of them. You look it up. That ban, it can't override policy. At the end of the day, they still gonna make some work. Even the state bans and guidelines not gonna matter, man.
Yeah, because the scripture talks about how this man's gonna get so close, you know, when he's about to sit at the table.
Yeah. Feel his brother.
Right. So, I mean, it's got to be super close, but he's still not going to get to what 100% of capacity.
Right. So there could be some pushback that shows you it's division, but at the end of the day, when it says he calls them all, it means exactly what it says. So that little state man is not going to mean shit, you know, when they collapse the society, man. You know?
This how you say, like, during those times, you're going to have people still be working. This Luke 17:35, 2 women should be grinding together. The one
there's a sense of normalcy. Because, you know, brothers had mentioned how, you know, there was a sense of normalcy even after the whole 2020 vision, you know what thing, all right? There was a sense of normalcy that came after that. You know, and that was a prelude to what they really want to do. You know, so there will be certain jobs reserved for people that take that mark, you know, to fulfill that prophecy.
Yeah. So 2 women should be grinding together, and one should be taken, the other left.
Yeah, because one took a mark and the other one didn't.
In this system.
Yeah, in this system. So Yahweh Shah probably sound about the exact time we in now.
2 men should be in the field, the one should be taken, and the other left.
Yeah, and that's,
Can I say something?
Yeah.
You don't think you're a representation of what? The word.
it is though. It is, yep. Yeah, man. And, you know, what you call the rapture is the salvation of the elect. Ain't gonna be no damn rapture, and they speak about in these Christian churches. It is madness. You know, Christianity don't have the answer.
No. It says in 9, human relationships could change. This may be less obvious, but it's still important. Some people may develop relationships or emotional attachment to AI.
And that's happening now. That's happening now. Yep.
Because remember, only Adam also received the W. So man will be alone in one system. So the Most High created us to be social. But now these niggas don't even got social skills no more.
Bro, it's motherfuckers that have AI girlfriends.
Exactly.
An AI woman.
But meanwhile, Esau enjoys the entire world. But you in a virtual headset,
He do a
whacking off.
virtual box.
AI.
Yeah.
All that is.
Man, I'll be the spiritual real.
It's the last piece. That raises a deeper question. If technology can provide constant companionship, information, entertainment, and personalized attention,
Blade Runner 2049. But they showed you that one dude, like he was a Blade Runner. It was a job that you had to basically take out these cyborgs or whatever. But he had an AI woman. You did that song, didn't you? Yeah, it was kind of a minute ago. But he had an AI woman. Like he plugged this shit into his house. Like what you call it when you plug it to your computer? Nah, it's like an outlet, but it like an adapter or something. But he'll plug it in a certain part of his house, and then that shit would appear like this damn hologram. You know, I know I'm putting lots of stuff, but it's a name for it, like help you save certain files and stuff. That's it. But basically, he'll plug this shit into his house, and then virtual woman would appear. You know, so why would they show you that? You know?
For me, like they enjoy you, the so-called human experience, but you know how it's all goes.
They make a whole movie.
Book of Job, chapter 20, and we'll start here in verse 15. It says, he has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again.
Yeah, Esau, you got to comfort the whole earth that he stole. You got to comfort all up, man. So it's showing you this new order of the ages is all in vain, man. You know, it's not going to play out in the end how you want it to.
Go to God's government.
That's perfectly cool.
They say that again.
I said, this is going to be the biggest repossession on the man.
Mount Zion.
And he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly.
Yeah, because the moment Babylon the Great is destroyed, you know, this the belly of the beast, so to speak, but you got to comfort the whole earth. Because by Babylon going down, that destroys the whole system. That completely collapses the whole system.
Bro, you know what? I got you, man.
And you going to comfort the earth. Now, we're not going to possess Babylon the Great. It's going to be, smoke, man. But we're going to possess the earth. The saints shall take the kingdom. So like Elder had said, that's a good lesson title. And this is going to be the biggest repossession ever, man.
This is it, many waters.
You know? Yeah, this is beautiful, man. You know, it's showing you, the Heavenly Father really already got everything planned out. You know, ultimately we have to endure, but really, we win it at the end of the day, man. Even with all this that Esau even gonna come with, and the White House must now shot. I want the lamb back on the Bible book, and he mentioned the process of the unpaid culture. And when you see what's happening with these entertainers, on a bigger level, you think about what he gonna do to make these people say the Obama, he gonna have to break their cycle. Like, we speak about order Al-Qaeda, calm reaction solution. They gonna make the state of the earth so chaotic, so where they gonna break the people gonna feel like they're not gonna have any choice but to take the Quran.
And the main input is, look, limitation with these financial. You got people moving back into their hands. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the biggest subject on social media.
Yeah, it's about inflation, people have inflation rates.
That's what they're going to come on. Just how much that's going to be one of the biggest stimulus packages ever in the Quran. It's going to be a release.
Yeah, so the system going up this smoke. They ain't talking about some hell dimension. All right? Nah, the Bible deals with reality. It's something what's going to happen on the earth.
Right.
It's like, we speak about Sodom and Gomorrah as an example. It's in certain scriptures to say how that fire went up forever. It goes up forever. It's not literal, but it just serves it as an example. It's the same thing with the water. It's timeless. Yeah, because now you can't even find like the exact location. Scientists speculate, they're in the vicinity because of the high concentration of sulfur, but you can't really see, like, you know, exact, okay, what was the exact location?
But we still talk about it this day like it's just
That's the smoke going up
That's the
there.
smoke going
That
always.
works.
Yeah. Always. And then I'm talking really like, how can the false faith be there too? Because it shows it's part of the system. It's the system.
Because the Vatican ain't gonna be around.
Right.
All this shit gonna go, man. You know, and we'll go around the planet Earth and clean it up, man. You know, once we get Hopper Shot comes back, you know?
Job 20 and 16, he shall suck the poison and ass, the viper's tongue shall slay you.
And it showed him, like, you know, Esau eating his own philosophies is gonna be his own destruction, man. You know? Ultimately, it's all gonna come back to bite you, man. You know, when you bullying the earth, you know, you acting like you bigger and bad than everybody, it's gonna come back to you. You know?
He shall not see the rivers.
And it's crazy that Elder Zahar was speaking on Amalek earlier. Everybody hate Amalek now. Everybody's hating Amalek and everybody's hating the American Edomite. You know?
He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter.
Yeah, it's like the Elder had brought out. Your inward thoughts, your house gonna continue forever. It ain't gonna work out that way.
It's a way out for the end of the world.
Yep.
It says, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down, according to his
So
substance.
how you gonna restore it? In the kingdom of heaven, it's slain.
It's a lot of work. According to his substance shall the restitution be.
And they have everything. Oh, it's going to say, not only do they have everything, they have more than heart to wish. So, you think about the people, you got beyond your heart desire, and you still ain't satisfied. That's why they want to put a corral in everybody. At this point, when they have everything, but they still not satisfied, at this point, in their minds, they got to be the Most High. That's when it'll be enough. They got to be the Most High himself, because by them putting that corral in you, the microchip technology, that's in their spirit, that's the closest they can get to them being the Most High. Because who knows all about you? Who knows all your thoughts? And that's total control. Only being they totally control everyone is the Most High himself. You know? So it's not gonna work out how you think once you do this. That's a very stupid move, man. You know? Yeah, but the Lord will make you do it.
It says, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor,
Which is Israel, we made it oppressed in Babylon the Great.
The first thing is press down. The system. The system is in school. Yeah.
Say, so we're out the same
So
stuff.
this, and that goes into arrest. Cussing and arresting you do.
because he hath violently taken away an house which he
Well,
built.
a house is land. It's like it's a land. So you took North America. Yeah, from the so-called Native Americans, from the so-called Seminole Indians, from the so-called Mexicans. This land belongs to our people, but you stole it, man. And you stole the whole earth. Okay, so that's what you got to call for. You know?
He hath violently taken away an house which he built it not.
Yeah, because there are people already here, man.
So he used a gun and also what? Was it biological warfare?
Yeah.
Smallpox and cooks. Damn.
Yeah, give them that liquor to make them drunk. That was liquor.
Jump down to 22 and 23. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits.
Yep. So when you're at the peak of your New World Order agenda, and by this time everybody's been see it?
And it's happening now.
Yeah, we're in the beginning of it now. Even with certain Bible say, I did one bald head clown on Instagram, man. Nigga think he got he's super cool.
Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
What's out of workers? You know? Yeah, your neighbors. Yeah.
The nation that you oppress, be gentlemen, the other nation can be missiles,
Yeah, even outside of Israel, you had these other dark nations.
They don't get a piece of you in the kingdom. You know?
And I'm supposed to be the sacrifice.
Yep. Satan.
Saving you.
Yep. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon
So he
him.
gotta be close.
Yeah,
You
but
know, he gotta be at 100% capacity. When he's about, I mean, that's like when you about to eat and you got the fork right to your mouth. And I just come and pop this in.
which shows, like the elders just said, that it has to happen before Babylon the Great gets destroyed. We're not getting out of here until that prophecy happens.
So the system, this different system will be erected. People will be microchipped.
But they're talking about re-engineering, for lack of better words, re-engineering the stores to be AI ready. So like customer service and you buy, you purchase or something, all these stores are going to be AI generated. So you just walk in, it's like your Robin's going to be like a Bluetooth parallel. You know, you can make a purchase through your Bluetooth, then walk in and grab it.
Boy, that's what Oprah did. The something made you like a Bluetooth, compatible just like a Bluetooth with your 16 technology. Those are braces, bonuses. They all got teaching schools right now. Yeah, Austin, Texas, and down
Because even like mobile orders, like in a drive-thru, you order it online, and then you go through the line, and then you just get your food. You already made the order in your phone. And you just go to this place and get your food. So what you need people for? You know, automated delivery.
I can't out there down some bus, be out there doing like a little thing to be trapped like the guy.
This is like going to Miami, something out in Texas.
Y'all get it? Y'all get it?
It's crazy, like to show you it's gonna be a major distinction between those that take the mark and those that don't, man. You know, because like something that the elder Yashimai had mentioned a while back. Like, what is the Most High's technology? It's humans. Like we're the Most High's technology. It's like, you know, like just case in point, like you got women. Like, and I just recently found this out. A woman that's pregnant, she know when another woman's pregnant. Or a woman that's on her cycle, like I mentioned, like a Bluetooth, like a like a sync, like they know, like that. So that's the Most High technology. Like same thing, like Corrado on the flip side. But
John the Baptist mom.
Well, you always have a
Remember?
yeah,
She knew that Mary was pregnant. The baby leaked in her womb. Come in real quick.
like in Job 20 and finish off 23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High, when his enterprise is crowned with success. What do you think it is? His enterprise is new world order agenda. And the main tenet, or the main part of the new world order agenda is having the majority of the people on planet Earth microchipped, especially the tribes of Israel.
We go to Edinburgh around for enterprise, it goes to undertaking, also goes to taking in. So what device can get to the other side of the mission?
And you know, COVID is spelled backwards. So you know, you still gotta have that God's play. You see man's play, but have they seen God's play? Have they seen what God can do with his weapons of magic?
Yeah. And it shows you it's going to be divine intervention. You know, for the Lord's men, on behalf of you serving the Lord, you fearing the Lord, you're going to be defended. Second, you know?
Yeah, that's what it is.
You may get sick, they really seen it.
It says, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while you're enjoying your New World Order system, you know, you figure like you finally got it. That's when you have Shaw on his way with the angels, and that's when the nuclear missiles on the way to Babylon the Great.
God found on the Sunday day.
Yep.
You outside joining you in the picnic, and all of a sudden it start raining on you.
And that's the time of our salvation, man. But to live back one more point that Elder Vaughn made, but and the spirit will really keep pushing. Don't take that corruption, man, because once you take it, ain't no getting out. Now you go into you get the prophecy again.
Hey, this is Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark.
Yeah, and don't think you can take it out. Like you ever said.
And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
Either hand.
That's right. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture.
It's a metaphor for the nuclear destruction, as well as the laser beams from the chariots. To show you that there's extreme hatred for any creation that take that mark.
And to the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
And that's in real time, you know. That ain't some mythology, dealing with some hell dimension underground with the burn forever. Nah, that's the reality of the Bible. You're gonna be in that judgment once Babylon the Great is destroyed by fire in World War III. You know? So that's the penalty for taking the mark. What is the mark?
Revelation 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and
And
bond,
the other Bible had mentioned that as Esau Edom by way of this beast system. All right, go ahead, brother.
to receive a mark in their right hand and in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had a mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Now we know that word mark goes to the Greek word karagma, which would say a cutting in the flesh or an engraving, you know?
Then the origin of the water, you got the rocks.
Yeah.
That's an instrument to inject the microchip.
Yeah, but you have the word writing, grapho, you know, which goes to all the data that's going to be on them, like everything, the biometrics, everything about you. But another point too, one of those definitions, it goes in the palisade. Now, like I said, I'm letting back up the LB. Basically, if you look into a palisade, it can go into a fence. So once you take that mark, you're fenced in. You can't, you know, it's like you think about a prison yard. You know, they got the fence, they got the barbed wire. You can't get over that fence once you in.
Because the world will be a digital system.
Yep. That's digital prison.
Yeah, digital prison.
Yeah, so once you take it, ain't no getting out of it. Like you locked in, man. You know?
And with that, we hope the edification will build up. Once again, we want to give all the Lord to you. We also want to give them an honest right elder apostle, elder bishop, and great Lord, all the way. Peace and blessings, touch and wonders for the house of the elect.
Shalom.
And I haven't heard the truth.